What is up, guys? Rick, another weekly reset, another 3 raids, still no liars handshake. Kackis here. Thank you so much for joining, and today we have even more Shadowkeep information coming from the Gamescom event. Now, there was a big just smorgasbord, a huge amount of information that came out yesterday. I did do a video covering the majority of that information. Check it out if you haven't. There's some really interesting stuff there, but today, a little bit more interviews came out, as well as Bungie updated the official Shadowkeep page on their website, and so we got more information through that as well. So let's go over that additional information. Firstly, let's talk about the power cap. Now, we knew things were going to be interesting this time around due to Bungie director Luke Smith's big director's cut update, and he talked all about leveling, how it's changing pretty dramatically with Shadowkeep, and he mentioned that normal powerful sources are going to get you up to power 950, and then there's actually going to be separate pinnacle power sources, and those are the only way to go beyond 950. So to gain any power 951 and above, you have to be doing these specific like pinnacle powerful activities. Likely the raid is going to be one of those. So we knew it was above 950, and a lot of people, including myself, speculated that, oh, that's 1,000. Bungie always goes in 50s, and I'm very wrong and yet somehow technically correct, because it turns out the power cap, and this is coming from the official Bungie website, as you can see, is 960 just through gear. So that means after you get to that 950 mark, there's only 10 more light to go that you can get via gear advantages. But that's very important, actually. Via gear, you can go to 960. Because technically, there is an infinite power cap. You can go to 6,000 power if you really put in the hours. Now, how the heck is that possible? Well, that's because of your seasonal artifact and the bonus power mechanic coming with Shadowkeep. We again saw this during the Armor 2.0 stream, and bonus power comes from experience, just playing the game. When you get that certain amount of experience, you're going to get +1 bonus power. That is not going to affect the power level of your drops, but rather seemingly it affects the power of your Guardian, so do more damage against enemies, take less damage from them. And once you get this +1 bonus, it resets and you can gain more experience and get +2, +3. And again, Bungie said on an IGN stream at Gamescom that there was no limit to this. As long as you're getting experience, that bonus power just keeps climbing. Now, importantly, it does reset upon every single season because it's tied to your seasonal artifact. So when Shadowkeep and the season of the Undying is over and the next season starts, you're going to get a brand new seasonal artifact and you're going to start back at 0 bonus power. So that's really interesting. Like, just by playing the game, even if you kind of get screwed RNG-wise on loot, you can still have a very potentially powerful Guardian. And the fact that you can get to infinite power, like, I'm really curious to see what is the max power, like who has the most power on the leaderboards by the time season of the Undying is over. Like, what do they actually achieve? Because that's actually pretty crazy. Now, moving on from there, something else very interesting that came from the Bungie website was this screen here on hunting for new gear. Firstly, we kind of get a look at potentially a brand new exotic. Now, I would point to the fact that both the picture of the hunter and what's featured here is clearly the helmet, and that's a brand new exotic we took a look at yesterday, shown here. And then we have the Titan. Again, the focus is on his legs, and that is another brand new exotic that we saw yesterday. But then we see this Warlock, and the focus seems to be his chest piece. You can see these different, I guess, grenades or whatever things are stored here, but that's something that I haven't really seen yet. So potentially this is showcasing a brand new exotic Warlock chest piece coming with Shadowkeep that we just don't know too much about right now. Additionally, looking at all this gear, we clearly have some themes going on. First off, we have a couple of exotic weapons with the hand cannon that shoots special ammo pictured here, and then the Void Nova Bomb style rocket launcher down below it. Then, looking at the rest of the weapons, there seems to be 2 main themes going on here. Firstly, the whitish weapons that are wrapped in kind of bungee cords, those are almost definitely from the pool of Shadowkeep legendaries. Think Season of the Drifter legendaries, like the spare rations, etc. That pool of different same-themed legendary weapons. We have seen looks at these in inventories and so on. They just seem like the legendaries you're going to earn for doing activities associated with the moon. But there's actually another theme going on here, and that is something that we have not seen so far, and that's all the weapons draped in leaves. We actually see 3 different weapons like this. I actually think that these are the raid weapons. Now, what makes me think that? Well, first off, look at the background. For all of the different bungee cord wrapped weapons and one of the exotic weapons, it's a moon background. And then for all of the different leaf-colored weapons and for the exotic hand cannon, the background is all of the Black Garden, where we know the raid is taking place. So I think this is saying that those are the different raid weapons from the Black Garden, and in fact, that special hand cannon, it turns out, is a raid exotic. In addition, these weapons also fit the theme of the Black Garden because a lot of the Vex in there are covered in leaves and moss. They've been there for a while. So adding that aesthetic to a weapon, like that makes perfect sense for Black Garden raid weapons. So that's pretty darn sweet. In fact, speaking of the raid, we got a little bit more information with this description here. It's called Garden of Salvation. A signal emerges from the dark and reaches beyond dimensions into the uncharted wilds of the Black Garden. Where it leads inside the garden remains a mystery, one that whispers with temptation, yearning to be solved. Moving on from there, another sweet piece of information is this screen here. Of course, that armor, that looks insane. That looks so sweet. And a lot of people have speculated that, oh, this must be the raid armor. It's very clearly Vex themed. However, I don't think it is. And that's because this screenshot is associated with the Season of the Undying blurb. It says, Season of the Undying is included with your purchase of Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, saying specifically, defend our moon from the Vex invasion and face the Undying Mind. In the Season of the Undying, you will experience a new activity, discover new exotic weapons, collect exclusive universal ornaments, and grow more powerful. Notably, what this really means is that Bungie is kind of separating Shadowkeep from Season of the Undying. Remember, the seasons are available for all players, whether or not they bought Shadowkeep, and certain things are going to be added for free into the game for those non-Shadowkeep owners. In fact, we've had this several times before with certain exotic quests, available to everyone out there, and we kind of saw an example of this with this screenshot here. Notice all this new Shadowkeep gear all has that little Eris Morn symbol on the weapons, on the armor. But look at the Monte Carlo exotic auto rifle, one of the returning exotics coming with Shadowkeep. It has a totally different symbol. It actually has a Vex head symbol. And I believe that this represents that this is not specifically a Shadowkeep weapon. This is a Season of the Undying weapon. Perhaps it's from an exotic quest available to all Destiny players, not just, again, Shadowkeep owners. So the armor set we're seeing is likely actually from potentially Eververse or just random activities throughout the game. However, something that backs up the theory that this could be the Eververse armor set is the fact that we also see in this screenshot never before seen exotic weapon ornaments for Shadowkeep. That's right, all 3 of these Guardians are using confirmed exotic Shadowkeep weapons. The Guardian in the front, of course, has that exotic special ammo using hand cannon we've seen several times before, even earlier in this video. Then to the left, we have the heavy bow. Then to the right, we have the exotic machine gun that has the bug inside of it. So all 3 exotic weapons, but it's extremely clear that the bow and the machine gun both have exotic ornaments on. They look very different than where we've usually seen them, but similar enough that you can tell these are the same exotic weapons. And of course, where do you get ornaments from? Eververse. So again, the armor, likely Eververse too. But the fact that it seems that Bungie is now separating seasonal gear and specifically DLC gear is very interesting, and perhaps it means that they're ramping up how much gear is associated just with a season in Destiny 2. It makes sense because there's going to be an influx of brand new players that are free to play with Destiny 2 New Light. You got to give them some goodies too when you launch new seasons. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.